not checking my emails in a timely manner. Please leave me the alone.
Found how she got the rest of the screenshot. It turns out you can search Reddit for recent deleted posts. We used the script in the screenshot and saw that she commented.
Do not own information. I think it's okay for other creators to do fact videos. It literally does not bother me. I just think it's really weird when other big creators think it's okay to copy my video word for word and act like you need to rebrand on communism, because I don't even think Americans want communism. That's just the only thing that we know what to call it.
Isabella Avila, also known online as Bella Rose, kicked off her content creation run on TikTok back in 2018, and at first, everything looked smooth. She leaned hard into fun facts, quick life hacks, and bite-sized knowledge that felt smart, digestible, and easy to share. That formula worked. Her videos pulled numbers, her following stacked up fast, and her comment sections were full of people praising how clever and thoughtful her content felt. For a while, Bella looked like someone who cracked the algorithm without even trying. Riding that momentum, she expanded into YouTube and shifted into longer form videos that aimed to sound deeper and more philosophical. She posted about big questions like the meaning of life, theories about aliens, and whether hypnosis was actually real. Surprisingly, that transition worked too. The views followed her over, the subscribers rolled in, and her brand started to feel bigger than just TikTok clips. From the outside, it looked like she was leveling up from quick hits to serious thinker content without losing her audience. But that image didn't last. Bella made one decision that quietly cracked the foundation of everything she built. And once that crack showed, the whole thing started to cave in. In July of 2020, she publicly accused another creator of stealing her content. She framed it like she was the victim of plagiarism, expecting her audience to rally behind her. Instead, the opposite happened. The creator she called out responded calmly and showed proof that he hadn't copied her at all. Both of them had pulled information from the same public article. That response embarrassed Bella. But the real damage came next. Viewers started asking uncomfortable questions. If this video came from an article, where did the rest of her content come from?
Just about to make a video about this wall of accomplishments that I feel like is now tainted when I dropped everything. Like I was one of Netflix's first podcasts, and it doesn't exist anymore because I've ruined it. You know, I have stuff that YouTube used to send me. They don't anymore because I ruined it. Look at this little teddy bear. For YouTube streaming gaming. That's my dog. Skateboard. I look at it and I'm just like, damn, like, never even put wheels. I don't know. I didn't even finish. I am OnlyJayus. That's what I'm leaving behind. It's just fun facts of watered down subjects, racism, anger. I ruined it for myself, and I'm aware of that. Everything that I do, everything that I'm planning to do, like I'm gonna do my best, but it's never gonna be enough. I'm never gonna be enough for what it could have been if I just wasn't so toxic.
The goofy alert, my videos keep getting taken down. I'm gonna show this video one more time.
The kid sent the screenshots to Freak the Gemini, who is a black TikToker who just likes to start controversy.
How am I controversial for holding you accountable for telling someone they're an N-word lover, bro? You literally say you've been trying to stop being racist for 5 years. That is not an excuse to be racist, bro.
35K? That's cute. Okay, listen, if you can get 13.5 million signatures on this petition, the only way that TikTok would ever ban me, I'll ban myself.
People went back through her uploads, old and new, TikTok and YouTube, and what they uncovered shifted the narrative completely. Video after video matched articles, posts, and other creators almost word for word. This wasn't inspiration or overlap. It was straight copying. The deeper people looked, the worse it got. Her earliest YouTube uploads showed the same pattern, and her TikTok clips weren't any cleaner. Then another creator named Alex stepped in. He pointed out that Bella had been lifting his content regularly. When confronted, Bella claimed she got the idea from an old Reddit comment. Alex asked for proof, expecting the excuse to fall apart. Instead, Bella actually produced a comment that backed her claim, adding another strange layer to an already messy situation. If things had stopped there, Bella might have escaped the plagiarism mess with at least a shred of credibility left. Instead, everything collapsed even further when it was exposed that she staged the so-called proof herself. Evidence showed that the Reddit comment she used to defend herself was posted by her own account, deleted shortly after, and then presented again with a manipulated screenshot date. That moment erased any remaining benefit of the doubt. For many viewers, this was no longer confusion or poor judgment. It looked calculated, deliberate, and dishonest. Trust that had taken years to build disappeared almost overnight. But the situation didn't freeze there. In 2021, screenshots linked to Bella began circulating online, revealing private messages she allegedly sent back in 2016. The tone of those messages shocked even longtime supporters. They included aggressive insults, cruel personal attacks, and hateful statements wishing serious illness and harm on someone's family.
This person named OnlyJayus for a few days because she stole one of my videos. She said we both got the idea from a Reddit. I said I was so confident it didn't exist that I would give $10,000 to anybody who could find it. She doctored a screenshot. Instead of just saying, yeah, I fucked up, I didn't credit you, I'm sorry, she would go and fake a fucking screenshot of a Reddit.
Russia. Okay, boom, the bomb exploded, you have to act immediately. First of all, don't look at the flash because it's going to blind.
Boom, the bomb went off, you have to act fast, okay? First things first, don't look at the flash, it'll blind you.
You don't have a chance to get to a shelter. Your safest bet is to lay down face down and cover your head.
If you can't find shelter, your best bet is going to be to lay down on the ground, face down, covering your head and ears.
You have to understand there's still X-rays, gamma rays, beta rays. They're gonna be actively burning you alive. It's not gonna feel good, but you have to survive. You're gonna have to get up, take the pain, and run for shelter.
Rays, but also gamma rays and thermal rays, which are not going to feel good. They're going to be actively burning you. It doesn't matter, you have to get up, fight through the pain, and just find fucking shelter.
The most disturbing part was the use of explicitly racist language aimed at a person because of their interracial relationship. Even people who were willing to forgive past mistakes drew a hard line here, calling the messages deeply ugly and impossible to defend. The backlash hit fast. Bella responded with a familiar influencer apology video, emotional delivery included, promising personal growth and accountability. One of the few parts that landed positively was her claim that she would collaborate with Black creators to help raise awareness around racism and its impact. For a brief moment, some viewers were willing to see that as a step in the right direction. That window didn't stay open long. According to multiple creators, Bella never followed through. Messages went unanswered, plans stalled, and communication stopped entirely. When those creators spoke up publicly, many expected Bella to address it head-on. Instead, she uploaded a defensive rant filmed in her car that came off as emotional but dismissive. Commenters pointed out a pattern that was becoming hard to ignore. Anytime accountability was required, she seemed to deflect rather than reflect. As if that wasn't enough, it later emerged that the apology itself may not have even been written by her.
Uterus can fall out of her vagina if the muscles are too weak. Your immune system doesn't actually know that your eyes exist. So this means that if you ever get an eye injury or an infection near your eyes, there's a chance that your immune system's gonna treat it like a foreign body and you could go blind. Reasons the world could end right now and we'd have absolutely no control over it.
It's not like she was mouthing it and said the words in a song. There are levels to it. There's the white influencer dancing and then mouthing the words with an A at the end. There's calling someone the N-word. There's calling someone the N-word with a hard R at the end. And then there's calling someone a nigger. A slur is a slur, but to insult someone for being in a relationship with a Black person by calling them a nigger, it does not get any worse than
That revelation, combined with the documented content theft and resurfaced messages, wiped out what little goodwill remained. Online opinion turned sharply. Bella was no longer viewed as a creator who made mistakes, but as someone who repeatedly avoided responsibility. One viral tweet summed it up perfectly, capturing how quickly admiration had turned into complete rejection across the platform. At the same time, it's also possible that everything Bella said was true, and the other creator simply wanted nothing to do with her anymore. After everything that had already happened, cutting contact may have felt like self-preservation rather than avoidance. Either way, the outcome didn't work in Bella's favor. Public perception continued to slide, and each new development made her come across as more frustrating and harder to sympathize with. The internet had already made up its mind, and the constant criticism eventually turned into full-scale hostility that followed her across every platform she touched. That level of backlash wore her down. By the second half of 2024, Bella had effectively stepped away from the internet altogether. No uploads, no explanations, no attempts to rebuild. To many people, it looked like a quiet retirement. The creator who once dominated feeds and sparked endless debate had faded out without ceremony. For critics, it felt like confirmation that her career was over. For others, it felt unresolved, like a story that ended mid-sentence. Then, unexpectedly, Bella came back. In January of 2025, with TikTok facing a possible ban in the United States, she uploaded a return video on January 19th that immediately stood out. It was framed as a goodbye, but the tone felt noticeably different. Her delivery was calmer, softer, and far less defensive than anything she had posted before. She spoke without posturing and didn't lean on excuses or rehearsed language. She openly acknowledged that she had made mistakes, even though she avoided listing them one by one. Still, the shift was obvious. This didn't feel like a scripted response built to manage damage. It felt closer to someone speaking plainly without trying to win the algorithm or spin the narrative. That difference mattered, especially near the end of the video when she thanked her former audience, including the people who no longer supported her. That moment landed with unexpected weight. For a small group of viewers, the video felt like a turning point. A chance for Bella to reset, step away from shortcuts, and rebuild something smaller but real. If she had stayed on that path, she might have slowly earned a new audience that connected with her authenticity instead of her controversy. But that momentum didn't last. TikTok avoided the ban, and soon after, Bella appeared to drift back toward old habits, once again searching for an easy route back to relevance. Instead of committing to the long rebuild her videos seemed to promise.
I can handle a lot. You don't get to be OnlyJayus still posting online without being able to handle a lot, but I can't keep opening comment sections and just reading how people are surprised I haven't committed yet. When I got canceled, I was told not to post anything, don't say anything, let it blow over. And I didn't do that. I decided to make an apology video even though everybody told me not to. And I decided that I had to drive my gun to my dad because I didn't trust it in my house anymore. And my mental health is not on you guys. That is a me thing that I'm working on. It didn't help. I have people that say they care about me and are constantly checking in on me, and I feel so bad about that because it's like, isn't it embarrassing for you to be associated with me?
First time?
Yeah, you?
No, not my first time.
The petition to stop the TikTok ban has 400,000 signatures, right? The petition to ban me off of TikTok has more. Can y'all tell me why you want me off the app more than you want to save it?
Goofy alert, Netflix has cut ties with Jayus. Big dubs. Sponsors got all the evidence they need to prove that you're racist, sexist, manipulative, and a compulsive liar.
I know that I haven't always used this platform that you guys have given me the wisest. I've made a lot of interesting choices. I could have done a lot of things differently, and I think about it every single day, and I like to think that I've learned and grown from it.
To be fair, Bella did make an attempt to approach her return the so-called right way by shifting back to long-form content on YouTube. The strategy was obvious. Post slower, more deliberate videos, speak at length, and hope a new audience would show up without the baggage of her past. In theory, this was the cleanest reset she could have tried. In reality, it backfired in the most brutal way possible. Her videos didn't just underperform, they flat-out collapsed. One example made the problem impossible to ignore. A pillow fight themed video barely scraped past 3,000 views. For a channel sitting at over 4.8 million subscribers, that number wasn't just bad, it was humiliating. When you break it down, over 99.9% of her subscribers didn't even click. That kind of drop-off isn't algorithm bad luck, that's audience apathy. And the small group that did watch didn't exactly come in with open arms. The reaction wasn't limited to one upload either. A video centered around punk music, a topic with massive mainstream interest and crossover appeal, failed to reach even 10,000 views. Somehow, it managed to collect nearly 3 times as many dislikes as likes. One top comment summed up the mood perfectly, saying she was trying mad hard to ignore the falloff. That line stuck because it captured what people were seeing. Effort without evolution, output without improvement. Here's the part that really mattered. If Bella genuinely wanted a comeback rooted in quality, she would have slowed down, sharpened her skills, and treated those flops as feedback instead of setbacks. New formats, better pacing, Stronger research, something different.
My last video about OnlyJayus, as you know, she stole from me. It bothered me. I looked into it and found out she was stealing and lying for years. Her attempt to get out of trouble by faking a screenshot didn't work, and I ended up getting over 6 million views on my videos exposed.
So I lost my job at Best Buy on Friday for making TikTok videos. I honestly wish that I was joking. I had 1 million followers and then it was just 1 million every 2 weeks after that. It was insane. Like,
what?
Getting fired from Best Buy was like the best thing that ever happened. I had so much more free time to just do weird things on the internet. To hear that I love you no matter your sex, your gender, your sexuality, your faith, or your race.
Goofy alert, guess that didn't age well, cause this you. At the bottom, calling someone the hard ER, a word used to oppress black people in my community.
Instead, the pattern made one thing clear. The priority wasn't growth. It was reclaiming relevance as fast as possible. That mindset led to another pivot. Bella jumped straight into political content, chasing whatever was trending hardest. She began filming protests and unrest in Los Angeles and posting short clips to TikTok. The goal wasn't subtle. Spark arguments in the comments, inflate engagement, and let the algorithm do the rest. It was a shortcut, not a statement. The plan didn't land, views stayed low, and skepticism stayed high. People didn't believe the framing that this was about awareness or activism. A YouTube comment cut straight through the act saying, "She's just recording herself going to protest now to try and make herself look like a good person." That reaction summed up the larger issue. At this point, no matter what angle Bella chose, the audience saw the motive first and the message second. It's safe to say this move wasn't the comeback she was hoping for, so Bella pivoted yet again and landed on what many people saw as her worst decision so far. She stepped into adult-oriented, paywalled content by creating an account on a platform called Passes, a direct competitor to other subscription-based sites. Instead of open discussion videos or creative projects, she began posting so-called exclusive content locked behind extremely high prices.
The invented purpose of the chainsaw was for childbirth. It was standard practice to cut women open because yes, this was the time when women weren't allowed to be doctors. I got this video from Reddit. Let's actually watch the comparison because I think he put them side by side.
Remember when OnlyJayus got canceled for saying the N-word?
Yeah, at Home Depot trying to find boxes and this like little white kid just comes up to me and he's like, "Oh my God, are you Jayus?" And I'm like, "Yeah, hi." And he's like, "You're a fucking racist, you piece of shit." And I'm just like holding boxes and I'm like, okay. And I just bought my stuff and walked out. But he was like with his dad or something and he was still just yelling at me. He was like, I don't know, 16, 17.
Some access tiers reportedly reached as high as $80, a number that immediately raised eyebrows given her already shrinking audience. Historically, this kind of pivot is viewed as a last resort for creators whose mainstream influence is fading. It's usually less about expression and more about squeezing value from whatever attention remains. In Bella's case, the move followed the same pattern. Engagement on these paid posts appeared shockingly low, suggesting that even the people still watching weren't willing to financially commit. From the outside, it looked like a lot of risk for very little reward. What made it worse was the shift in her remaining audience. Instead of rebuilding trust or attracting thoughtful viewers, this move pulled in the wrong kind of attention, while pushing away anyone still hoping for meaningful content. The community around her didn't grow. It narrowed, and despite crossing what many saw as a personal and professional low point, there was little evidence that the strategy was even profitable.
That's where I'm at. You ready? You ready? You're not gonna believe it. What? The infamous TikTok sign? What? This is crazy. I never thought I'd be here. You never thought I'd be here. TikTok never thought I'd be here. Bill Gates and Best Buy never thought I'd be here. But look. Siblings, I make it a point to give each one of them a hug hello and goodbye because when I was put in foster care, they didn't get a goodbye from me and then we just didn't see each other for 3 years.
Here's where things took a strange turn. While the decline looked obvious to almost everyone else, Bella herself appeared either deeply in denial or actively reframing the situation to cope. In a comment posted on her own subreddit, she claimed that things had never been better. She stated that her views were at an all-time high after being canceled, presenting it as a factual observation rather than a point of pride. That comment alone became a talking point, with many people seeing it as proof that she and her audience were no longer operating in the same reality. By this stage, Bella had tried nearly every angle imaginable: educational content, apologies, political trends, long-form videos, and now paywalled material. None of it restored her standing. She even attempted to stay active in her own subreddit, likely hoping to keep the last remaining supporters engaged. That effort didn't move the needle either. Still, she hasn't fully stopped trying. Bella continues to manage her image aggressively, including deleting critical comments to appear more favorable to new viewers. She was caught doing this as far back as August of last year, and based on her current social pages, the behavior hasn't changed much. At this point, the rebuild looks less like a strategy and more like survival mode, with every move focused on appearances rather than addressing the reasons people walked away in the first place. At this point, even the spaces that are supposed to support her feel tightly controlled. Her own subreddit is known for removing any negative post almost immediately, regardless of context or intent.
Nobody has ever told me when America was great. Tell me when America was great. This feels great.
To eat for days. I procrastinate sleep for more days. I barely text my family back, and I just had to move apartments because my address got leaked, and you're gonna throw a fit because I didn't make you my—
You can tell which one of your friends likes who by just paying attention a little bit more. If you're in a group and something funny happens or somebody tells a joke, people tend to be laughing while looking at the person they like.
If a comment is labeled as hate, it's gone without discussion. That kind of heavy-handed moderation sends a clear message. Criticism isn't welcome, reflection isn't encouraged, and uncomfortable conversations are treated like threats instead of opportunities to grow. It gives the impression that Bella believes erasing backlash will somehow reset public opinion. But trust doesn't work that way, and audiences can always tell when they're being managed instead of respected. The reality is, the damage has already been done. Bella Rose, also known as OnlyJayus, reached a crossroads and made her choice. Instead of stepping away early or committing to a genuine rebuild, she chose to keep pushing forward without changing the core issues that turned people away in the first place. Now she's stuck in a loop, still posting, still reacting, still trying to force momentum that just isn't there anymore. The internet moves fast, and creators who don't evolve with intention usually get left behind quietly. Could she have reinvented herself and earned back relevance? Possibly, but that path would have required months, maybe years, of consistent effort, self-awareness, and real improvement behind the scenes. That kind of grind doesn't come with shortcuts or instant validation, and all signs point to that not being something she's willing to commit to anymore. What remains now is the slow fade. Fewer viewers, less impact, less conversation. Not a dramatic collapse, just a gradual disappearance as attention shifts elsewhere. And that's where this story appears to be heading. What do you think about Bella's downfall and the choices she made along the way? Was redemption ever really on the table, or was this outcome inevitable? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, subscribe to the BeyondFame channel, share this with someone who's been following the story, and I'll see you on the next one.